Alright, listen Epic Games, we gotta talk. So, Fortnite OG is not a perfect mode. I think that's been made perfectly clear by the fan base. But we also gotta think about what made it this way. Why did it go from 1 million players on launch day to even less than 40k a day? What went wrong with Fortnite OG? So right off the bat, you can see right here in gameplay that the chests look like some regular creative map chests. They don't have the glow. And another one right here. That is not the exact model that we use for the bush. That is not, that is just wrong. Like, look at that icon. Look at that. Take a look at this. That is not the same. What even is that? Some of the bigger issues are the most common one, that bots were added to Fortnite OG. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I believe the first day Fortnite OG came out, there was no bots at all. It was all real players around the map, 100 player lobbies. And after a day, I believe, or two, they removed that and started adding bots. Now, I don't know how many people complain about them not being good enough at the game to not win at all, but I think there were far more people saying that they enjoyed it the way it was than people complaining about how the gameplay was. But as we know, Epic Games really likes to take the worst decisions for this game mode. I have no idea why. Another common mistake is that the models for the weapons, these have been a problem for quite a bit now, sometimes with the scar even being the most inconsistent one, by sometimes just appearing as the chapter 2 scar and sometimes as the chapter 1 scar. You've seen it in my gameplay actually, and it's kind of noticeable, and I don't know why they keep switching it around. There we go. See, like, look at this. The scar right now, it's the old model. But not that long ago, it was the newer one. And look, I really appreciate Epic Games giving us the OG map again and try to remake it as much as possible. But at least if you're gonna do that, you might as well do it right. One that I keep seeing on Twitter every time that the game is updated is that they keep mentioning that the floor is still using Chapter 5 grass. Now, this isn't really a problem for me. I don't really mind it because I don't really see it. But it is quite noticeable for some people, and look, I'm not judging them. I appreciate them giving feedback to Epic Games so they can create this as close as it is, but they also have some pretty good points, because they are using a similar Chapter 1 texture of the grass in Reload, so it's not like they don't have it, they just would rather not use it, because this has been going on since like Season 2, so we've had this for a bit. Bunk. Also I don't think that the blue pump is supposed to do 250 to the head. Another thing that dropped out of nowhere is that apparently for build mode as well, they added rifts and the zip lines. Look, I can completely understand when they do that for zero build, because there's no way you can get to one point to another without building. Like why rifts at all? Like, maybe for rotation for zero build, I'm not really sure. They tried telling us that the OG returns, but they add rifts in Season 3 and they add zip lines for build. Again, I don't know why they had to put it in build. See, look at that. This is the 4th bot we've encountered. And trust me, I'm with the community when I say that I want the bots gone. Like, look at this. This is getting ridiculous. And they recently changed it so that you can get at least 92 bots in your games. That's absolutely ridiculous. Another thing that I noticed right away with the Season 3 update, the heavy shotgun has the wrong equip sound. The heavy never made that sound ever. Like, the tag was the one that made that sound, I believe. Like, look at this. Like, look how many bots. Come on. Sometimes these mistakes never happened in OG, but they made it a mistake in this remake. Not once did it ever make this sound. No version of it at any point. But this is a new problem that just came up in Fortnite OG. So look, it's the first real player out of the 6 kills that are just bots. And look, I can understand if people want the old UI back, but that's kind of pushing it, since that's completely changing the UI for one game mode. So they are listening, but sometimes I feel like they just choose not to do what the community wants to do. And I get it that they don't want to go fully back to the OG chapter, but come on, like, you made some good decisions and then you went back on that? Like, look at this. Why is this on build? and it didn't even work. I just tried going on it and it just kicked me out. Like, I didn't get out of it. It just didn't let me. And I've said it before, Fortnite will never be really able to satisfy their entire community.
Epic really can never win with the community. You can never satisfy every single person in the community because it's that divided.
What you can at least do is make the right decisions that most players want. Because I bet you that there's more players that want bots gone out of OG than players that want it in. And I get it when they say, I don't want to play 15 hours a day just so I can win. I get that. But then again, this is a battle royale, which is supposed to be multiplayer. You play this game to face other players, not to go against some AI. Something that I don't mind is the lighting. I think the lighting is quite fine. It gives it a cool vibe. It's the closest thing we're gonna get, because I don't think Epic Games is really gonna change that right now. And there is hope for them to actually change the grass up, because since Dusty Depot is going away, we're gonna get the divot. They do have to change a lot of the terrain, so who knows if they're actually gonna change that. Something that I also noticed is, I'm not sure if it's the tactical SMG, but that thing just doesn't work anymore. Like, the sound is just gone from it. You don't hear anything from it. The meteor shower is a cool addition, I will admit. It's super cool that we're getting this again. But, oh, come on! Look at this! Oh, God. I also made this video back in December, I think it was, where I basically said that the more game modes that they add, the more bots we'll have in the lobbies, and apparently this is kind of trending a bit now.
Fortnite, the more you keep adding these different core modes, you're dividing your lobbies even more. And now you're gonna add Chapter 1, Chapter 1 Zero Build, Chapter 1 Zero Build Ranked, and Chapter 1 Ranked.
And now look what happened a few months later. They took out Zero Build Ranked OG. If that's not a surprise to you, then I don't know what to tell you. And the pistol, I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be called the semi-auto pistol. And I believe it is the OG, like, assault rifle model. But it's the Chapter 2 icon right there in the inventory screen. I mean, come on, look how many zip lines this thing has. Like, look at this. What's up with this Fortnite? What is this? Like, look, I can appreciate Epic Games for putting the old sound and actually fixing when you shot once, you would hear 2 sounds out of the pistol. I can appreciate that, but it's also automatic. Like, bring me Thanos! I'm also a bit curious about that. Like, are they gonna bring back the Infinity War LTM when Season 4 drops? Oh, C4, look, okay, look, C4 is also like a special case, because look how unusually big it is. And when you place it down, it has that goo thing, that sticky thing from Chapter 4 Season 4. Overall, I think that the biggest problems for this game mode was the fact that the models weren't right. They added unnecessary things like the rifts and the zip lines. And of course, the biggest problem out of it all, bots. That's the main thing that people have been complaining about since the second day the game mode came out. There also seems to be a clear sign that whatever game mode is like a threat to the main battle royale, like it's a possibility that it might replace it, not entirely, but a good chunk of the player base, they seem to sabotage the game modes, which is kind of sad because that really just means that Epic Games wants you to play whatever they want you to play, not really whatever you're in the mood for. And yeah, I'll be honest, Fortnite OG is a much slower paced game than Chapter 6 currently, but that's because Chapter 6 also has all those vehicles, those broken items, and a ton of rotation. Look, don't get me wrong, it's cool that Fortnite OG has the rifts and has the impulse grenades, but what the hell? But also by putting in bots, it's such a slower game. What? Something else that I heard about, actually, I'm remembering things as I go along making this video, to be honest, but I saw that actually Season 2 or Season 3 in the current versions, they were longer than the original ones. So that's also kind of confusing because I thought that these seasons were going to be monthly, but apparently they were longer than their originals. Be my guest, count how many bots I've faced in this video alone. From where? Oh, yeah, you keep doing that.